Hey guys, it's Kaya. Today we are doing something called Fix It Jesus Friday. I got Watch Me Work Wednesdays. Fix It Jesus Fridays is what we're doing now. Julia makes fun of me because she says all the cup groups have, different stuff. They got Sell It Sundays, Show Me Your Work Mondays, So I had to come up with my own, and Fix It Jesus Fridays is what it was. This is what Jesus needs to be working on. I bought these trays from Michael back during the summertime when they had the stainless steel section, which is now the Christmas section. And they came in a 4-pack, and they were really cute, and I had this really pretty green holographic flake, and you can see, and I mean, it's like absolutely gorgeous. And then I messed it up with the gold, and I don't know what I was trying to do, but it was not a success, I will tell you that. And the trays are, really heavy duty, and it's kind of cute, but it needs some help. So that's what we're going to try and do today. And when all else fails, you just Milky Way it. So that's what we're going to try to do today. So in case you don't know what a Milky Way is, it's a style of tumbler design where they do a base layer in glitter and then cover that layer up with clear and white. So only parts of the glitter peek through. So hopefully we can get something that's sellable. Because, that's my ultimate goal. I go out to vendor events here in the local Indiana area, and we sell. I also have an Etsy shop, not currently open right now while I'm working on my website, but I sell my art in different areas. So, that's always my goal. Obviously, I want something cute, and if it's cute, I might keep it for myself and then make y'all one, but I didn't say that out loud. My customers don't know that. Well, they do now. But anyway, so that's what we're working on today. So I've got my 2 parts of epoxy. I'm using EnviroTex light for this. Let's turn it around so you can see it. So it comes in black and a white, a hardener, and a resin, and I just mix those in equal parts. I just use these little Dollar Tree condiment containers, and I poured one of the black one of the white one, and put it in this bowl. You can also use a scale if you are just starting out. Please use a scale to measure your epoxy. If you do not get them in equal parts, and I mean down to within a few grams, your project is going to be sticky. It's never going to cure. It's always going to be tacky. You'll end up having to strip it and start over, and I just find stripping a big pain, so I try to avoid it at all costs. I've been doing this for a while now, so I've found a measuring method that works for me if I can't find my scale, which I can't find because the other half of this craft closet is a mess, y'all. This table is set up. My rows are set up, but the other half is a mess. After we get done, I might show y'all what it looks like. It's in development. Y'all don't know this, but my craft name is Little Martha. Because I love Martha Stewart. Is she just not... Martha is everything good in my world. Everything good, for real. So my family calls me Little Martha, and my craft closet is actually a walk-in closet that I just kind of took over from my wife. Her and my daughter are sharing a closet because my daughter has a walk-in closet in her room. So yeah, this is now Little Martha's trap house in here. So my epoxy is mixed. It's got a bunch of little micro air bubbles, as you can see. Well, okay, there you go. You can see it's got a lot of micro air bubbles, so we're going to let those sit for a minute and pop. I just spilled all that epoxy. Okay, so we're not going to let it sit for a minute and pop. Great. This is an awesome start to my day. All right, well, let's get started, people. So I'm going to take my little mixing cup. I'm going to take my epoxy stick, put a dab of white paint in there. This little empty cup. I'm going to pour, sorry, I got to set this so it's not sitting right in the epoxy. I'm going to pour some epoxy into that mixing cup and stir it. I just want to mix it till that white paint is all mixed in. And my white paint is just Apple Barrel white acrylic paint. Got this big tub from Walmart, and I think it costs like $3. So it's not expensive at all. You can they come in the big ones like that, or they come in little bottles. This is a different brand, but they also sell it at Walmart. This is just a glow-in-the-dark one, but they come in little bottles like this for 99 cents. And they have a bunch of colors. Like for a simple project like this, if you're just starting out and you don't want to invest in the expensive resin pigments, they work fine. So as you can see, I've got a little bit of white paint in. It's kind of milky. It's, you know, it's a little bit slightly see-through. It's not all white. That's exactly what I want because I'm going to add some gold to it. So I have Lumiere Gold ink. This is from Jacquard. They also make Pinata inks. Now, I bought these by mistake. These are actually more for fabric. These are fabric inks, but they work fine in your epoxy. Now, I will say that with a caveat. Is that how you say it? Caveat or caveat? A side note about these paints, because I'm not that smart, is that you don't want to use them directly on your cup. Like, I wouldn't pour it on my tray like this and then smooth the epoxy over. It needs to be mixed into the epoxy. So as you see, I just put a little dot. A little goes a long way. And then just stir it up. It's better to do too little than too much. Because if you do too much, you'll have to go and start over. So in this case, I'm adding a bigger dot because that white base kind of sucks my color up. And I want it to be a nice gold. But since we're going to Milky Way, I didn't want it to be too different from the gold. So it's just kind of like a gold mica-y. It's hard to explain it, but I think the color will come out great. It's like a pearlized caramel. So that's what I'm going with for color number 1. Because the color that I have on the tray, if you can see, like the gold is not like straight gold. It's like a whited kind of gold. So I wanted something that's going to match a little bit. And actually, when I put it up to the light, we're going to set it to the side. No, yes, no. We are, because we're going to mix one more test batch. Part of Fix It Fridays is just experimenting, because sometimes, honestly, I don't know what's going to fix it. Okay, we are going to. Look how much better that gold is without the white. It's gold, gold. It's gold, gold. So that's what we're going to go with. Yeah. That's much better. I'll show you the two together so y'all will be able to see what I'm talking about. Let me turn on the... Can't turn on the flash because I'm not recording, right? Yeah. Okay. See the two of these together? This is the gold that we just made. And this is the one that I had with the white. So, we're going to skip that. Use the gold, gold. Now we're going to make up our white for the Milky Way. Y'all, I don't know what I'm doing today. My wife is dying in the background. What? Did I just say something funny?
No, I have to tell you something.
Oh, okay. Never mind, y'all.
It's like, what?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So, I have my little paint dish. These are just little 99-cent paint dishes. I took a little bit dab of white, same as I did before I mixed that gold in, with a little bit of epoxy, mixing it really well. I'm going to set it to the side and try to manipulate this clear. Since I spilled it, I'm just going to spread it out so that it's even across the tray. So I'm going to put my little finger glove condom things on. Okay, now I'm just using my finger to spread the epoxy to all the corners. I've got a little glob of white paint, so I'm just gonna kind of mix that a little bit. But I want all the epoxy to go all the way across. Now, like if you're like a pretty anal person, you know, maybe you would have wiped that out, that white part that I spilled out. It's already got random patches of white all over, so, you know, I'm just going to try and replicate that a little bit, and part of the Milky Way will be white anyway, so hopefully we can work that in. I've never had a Fix It Jesus Friday. Some of the best creations in the end have been ones that I've started and I had no idea what I was doing. So hopefully this will be one of those things. And maybe it'll inspire you to fix some of your projects. I literally have a whole bucket of cups and things that I've started with that just haven't turned out right. Like, hand me that. Yeah. So, for example, one of the things that I have this really beautiful cup, right? Look how cute that glitter is. And then I tried to hydro dip it, where you spray the spray paint in the bucket and put your cup down in it. You see what I did to that beauty? I haven't yet brought myself to strip it, but she's going to the strip bucket for sure. And then I'm just going to redo her with the glitter part. So, yeah, I have a whole bucket of things like this. Some are fixable, some are not. You know, hopefully this is fixable. If not, that's what that acetone is for. So I'm just kind of working that white little blob that I had into diagonal lines, because that's how I'm going to want my waves to go. So I just kind of want to, I don't want to just spill it all right there. Okay, so now we're going to start with my white, and I'm just going to get my popsicle stick, and I'm just going to do a real thin line, like not a super thick segment. And I'm just going all the way across this tray. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight because you're going to blow it out. So I'm not going to do too many because I do want some of that green to show through still. And I'm going to add gold. So by starting with that clear base, it gives the white epoxy something to move into. Is when you add that heat, it's just going to move and flow, and that's what we wanted to do. If we had just done the white epoxy straight on top of that old epoxy, it would move eventually, but you would apply a lot of heat and it wouldn't go very far. But by giving that fresh base layer, it gives that epoxy something to flow onto, because epoxy is self-leveling. So it's, even if it doesn't have any heat at all, the ambient room temperature is going to make it move around a little bit. So now that I've put my white stripes in, I'm going to go back in with that gold that we made, and I'm going to go not on top of it, but right next to the line. And I'm just using that same popsicle stick, although you can trade. But, you know, it's all going to mix together, so I don't mind a little bit of white. And I'm just doing those lines all the way across. So hopefully we can get something usable out of this. I have been working my tail off for Christmas commissions, so it's nice to have a day where you can kind of just play around. if you're a maker watching my channel and you are taking Christmas orders, I am sure you're ready to, you know, strangle yourself with tinsel and tissue paper as well. But it's been really productive, and I just hope to keep picking up. You know, that's the ultimate goal. You want to buy things that people love and invite to their home. And I really just started doing this about 1.5 years ago. And it just never ceases to amaze me every time we ship out a piece that, you know, my work is going to someone else's home and they loved it enough to purchase it. And it really says something to me when somebody buys something from a small handmade artist. We ourselves purchased from somebody on Instagram this year and bought these really cute resin shaker glow-in-the-dark ornaments, and they were gorgeous. And, you know, it was a little bit expensive, and I kind of said, oh, maybe I can make that. But I wanted to support other makers the same as they've supported me. So it was fun. And I would totally buy them again, because I don't know if I can make that. Okay, so all my gold is down. All my white is down. And now I'm going to take my trusty heat gun, and I'm going to blow the epoxy out. I'm going to start on high for 30 seconds, and then I'm going to switch it down to low. You want to stay 2 to 3 inches away from your epoxy, and because it will burn, it'll start to bubble and brown. So you want to do quick sweeping motion from side to side, you know, and stay a reasonable distance away from it. Don't do it like your blow dryer where you put it right so it's touching. You don't want to do that. You just want to be up and, you know, blowing motions in whatever way you want the waves to go. So I'm going to turn mine, and I'm going to blow my waves all this way since I have set my lines to go that way. Oh, but if I do it that way, you won't be able to see. Okay, well, I'll turn it back this way. So I'm just applying my heat, and I'm going back and forth. Back and forth. Never staying in one spot too long, but long enough to get that epoxy going and help that cell structure develop. You know, that's what we're looking for, is the smoothed out line. So now that I've got the epoxy moving, I'm going to lower the heat so that I can manipulate it to where I want it to be. You know, for instance, there's a little bit in that area there where it's just kind of clumped up. You want some lines and some dimension. But I don't want to mix it together too much because I still want to be able to see the green sparkle underneath. But let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh, Jesus. This heat absorbs this tray for real, for real. If you use a stainless steel tray like I've chosen to do, your epoxy is going to set super quick because epoxy is heat. As it cures, it gets hotter and hotter, and when your piece becomes hot all over and even the item you're putting it on gets hot, it cures faster. So this may not, you know, when I spin a cup, it normally takes 8 hours for it to cure before I can pick it up and manipulate it without it getting all over my hands. This tray may only take 3 or 4 hours to set and be done. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Here in this corner, right here, you can see that this line has all spread out. But in this corner, it didn't get heated. So it's still a solid block right here. I'm going for this. So I'm going to apply a little more heat until I get what I'm looking for. So when I say it softens that line, that's what I'm saying. It's not a solid, you can see through it, the color is dispersed, and it's more like a wave pattern. See? Do you see how that corner is softened now? So I'm going to go back in and add a little. Jules, will you come take a look? Do you think white or gold? I feel like maybe it has enough gold, so maybe some white. I've got a dried patch of paint here. I'm going to remove it.
Yeah.
Which one do you think? Enough gold?
Some white. I love the way the white waved out, though. Is that what you call it?
Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty amazing.
You know, the fact that she said more white is baffling me, because normally she's like, oh my god, it's so much white. Why is it all got so much white?
First of all, that's not how I talk.
That's not how you talk, but that's what I hear.
That's what I hear, too.
And
you my glitter.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Glitterful's gonna sell.
Hey.
Glitterful's gonna sell.
Hey. You can't talk about my peeps at Glitterful. Stephanie will get you.
No, I appreciate Stephanie. Shout out to Stephanie. I appreciate it.
If you don't know what we're talking about, Glitterful is a company that we buy our glitter from. This blue glitter did not come from them, sadly. I feel like she'll talk about me and I'll be a traitor. But anyway, no.
In all honesty, she bought that before we knew about Glitterful.
Yeah. So I will put the link to their website down below. They accept ZoPay. And if you get lost in it and end up getting a divorce because you go on and spend $500 like someone in this room may have done once upon a time, I'm sorry in advance. It's, you know, you just see things. You need them. Y'all know and understand how I feel. Okay, so I'm mixing up just a tad bit more white over here. Blah, 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 blah. And now I'm going to just finish getting that corner. And then I think that's going to be good to go, y'all. It looks way better than it did.
I like that.
Yeah, sometimes the key is just not doing too much. And I want to keep adding and adding. But when I get to that point where I'm like, oh, maybe it needs this. And I say, no, step away. I won't do too many without walking away, because then you overdo it. And sometimes like the simpler pieces make the best statement. Like I did these little photo yesterday, and the one I took a tutorial with, you know, I wanted to use all these colors, and the colors are really, really pretty. But ooh, I got something stuck in there and I didn't even notice. My colors are really pretty. I just didn't necessarily get the composition and the inks that I wanted. And so then I did another one right after it, and it was gorgeous, but I used less colors and I was more simple.
It's like, I like this style you did right here.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the vein.
Yeah, I do like that.
See? You just come in your craft room and have fun. Look at that.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to heat again, start on high and go to low. I'm not going to leave it on high as long this time because my epoxy is already hot. I just want to quick get in, get out, and get those lines softened. So I'm just going right over the line that I did the first time, and you can see like it blows the epoxy that I already had in there out even more. So you got to get in quick and get out. Just a quick wham bam, heat them up, thank you. Now I'm gonna go, oh, that was low, Jesus. I need to use those because my trigger's all epoxified. Okay. Alright. I'm happy with this. This has been a great Fix It Jesus Friday. I wish I had a before picture of it. I wasn't that smart. I'm going to get better about taking pictures, y'all. I'm going to get better. Let's see if I can take you out. Okay, so This is what our final piece looks like. I wish I would have took a before picture, but I mean, it's okay. So this is just so you guys can see how those waves look. But you can also see that we have some epoxy here on the side and stuff like this. So in order to fix that, I have my handy dandy baby wipe and my 91% alcohol. This I got at Kroger. You can find it anywhere that first aid supplies are sold. Usually comes in two strengths, like a 70 and a 90. 91 is the one that I get. So I got my baby wipe. I got my rubbing alcohol. I'm just going to run my baby wipe just above that line. And I'm just going to wipe off the excess. And try not to, you know, smear it too bad. Now, you won't be able to get all of it. Some of this is set from the first layer where I didn't get a good cleanup. But, you know, what you can't get, you can always go back and sand off. But, you know, finishing is just as important as the actual piece. You want something with nice clean edges. Okay, see here, you can really see how far my epoxy came up when I was pouring it. All that. So that's what we want to wrap. That's what we want to clean off. You don't want it, no epoxy creeping up the sides, or where you scraped your stick off to get all the extra epoxy. We want to have as clean as a product as we can. I always think of myself as Gordon Ramsay cleaning plates on the paths whenever I do this. Would he send my plate back? Well, would he send it back? He ain't gonna yell at me. It's dirty, you fool! No thanks. No thanks. Okay. Oop, that's alcohol that got down in there. Alright. Okay. So now my edges are clean as possible. You can see I still have a few places where it dried, but that's okay. I'll go off and do some sanding when I get done. I hate sanding, but it's the name of the game. So now we're going to let this dry and let this sit. You'll see the final in the thumbnail. I don't have any accoutrements currently, but if you wanted to, you could put like a little crystal here. You could put crushed up glass. People use aquarium rocks, glitter rocks, whatever. You could add a little sparkle to it, you know, whatever you need to do to make it your item. Thank you so much for turning into our first Fix It Jesus Friday. He put his blessing on it. Amen. Hallelujah. We'll let it pray. Jesus claimed it, and it is sold. So we hope y'all have a great time. Hope you have a great weekend. If you have events this weekend, may y'all sell out, and we will holler at you later.